Hey DM, sorry for the delay here. I'll be honest, I've been feeling a little under the weather today. I'm coming down with a cold, and I was considering tapping out, but we out here, DM. We out here. So where I picked up in my last session, Bastion and I are pushing a mountain-sized rock through the system that we're in. So a little context around that is that we're inside the spiritual realm, and um, we were talking about like building another one of these abilities, and um, like where we put together like another kind of like moon thing, which will represent a new ability that we can use, or I guess I can use. Um, and so what this entails is like going out into space and like pushing rocks over to get them back like into the system. So um, Bastion and I have been pushing um, like rock number one for some time. We have like to the point where we had like salt and pepper beards. So not only did we grow beards, but it's going on for so long that we had gray and stuff in our beards. The spiritual plane is weird. Um, like we had a total of 1 million light years to travel, and like we're down to the last 3,500 kilometers. Hold up, yeah. Sorry about that. So, um, yes, we're down. So that's crazy. Hundred million light years, like, like that's really more like being out the galaxy and pushing and put like we go without the galaxy to get a rock. No, no, no. We got to keep going. We need the perfect rock. I've seen one, millions of light years past Andromeda. Like, so it's crazy, but we're down the last 3,500. Um like uh once again in this plane I've sensed that Lord Annihilus isn't an option. I was considering possibly having us help him, but he's not an option because I need to let him rest. Um, I absorb Bastion and develop a barrier that envelops 80% of the rock. And when I do that, it's moving much faster. Um, like I summon Bastion when I'm getting tired, and we like alternate sleep. We travel like this for several days. I finally get the rock into the gravity of the target system, and then from there, once we're in the gravity well, we're coasting on in. Uh, like I can sense that there's something in here with us, like inside the spiritual realm, and it's very dangerous for Bastion and I. Um, yeah, and I think they might actually be on the rock. Um, Like I end up, yeah, they're on the rock. I ride the barriers up the rock to go meet the person. And this is basically Oriana. She's an older Savari woman. She's anywhere from 80 to 120 years old. She's short, 4 foot two, pale green, greenish gray hair, pale hazel eyes, um, like somewhat corporeal. So she's like Oriana's not typically like that in the regular world, but here in the spiritual realm, she's like some semi corporeal, and she has a staff with a green orb and is wearing green clothes. This is Oriana. She creates a desk where I can sit down, and she asks like, "Where are you?" Um, like not metaphorically or physically, and I say we're at the core of my being. That's the correct answer. We're at the core. Oh, excuse me. We're at the core of my wellspring. So, um, what I have here, when we think, When we think of the larger cosmos, matter and energy, and how they interact with each other, the wellspring houses the ability to grow and damage oneself. I need to be careful or I'll hurt myself. This piece of myself, the rock, um, like oh yeah, so I need to be careful not to damage the rock I was on. Um, eh, like um, like the rock was on its own path, and I changed that. This rock could have been everything or could have been nothing. So basically, what she's explaining is that, like, so I can't like so everything like this isn't space. This isn't real space. It's a representative space. So coming and grabbing this rock, it's like it does a thing. It's almost like if I went into my physical body and my various systems, circulatory system, um, you know, um, cardiovascular system and like neurological system, and they were represented as space and everything like that. And it's like I'm moving things around, but it's like what I'm moving around could be like a specific. I could be messing with a heart valve or you know a part of my spine or something like that. All these things have a specific purpose, and like taking them, moving them somewhere, it could be beneficial. Maybe I'm taking blood from a certain place and moving it to another place where it needs to clot and heal something but or I could be taking blood from a place where it really needs to be, and now blood's not. Maybe I'm taking blood flow from my heart or something like that. So it's like moving things around here and just doing stuff in here in general is a risk. Now I trust the process with um uh Bastion, but this is an important kind of thing. Like, so I definitely don't want to be like in here doing something like, oh, I'm pushing a rock, I get frustrated, damn, I blow the rock up. No, 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 no. You don't want to do stuff like that in here. And actually, this carries on into the movie where don't know what I did there. I was explaining when we first got into um when we got into Taurus Portal, I was explaining to him that inside these spaces can be dangerous to have other people in here. That's what I was saying. We don't want to destroy stuff or start any or like get engaged in any violence. And one of the animals like violence, but like I was basically passing on that lesson that I learned from Oriana. Um, um, Oriana separated us. The separation muted Bastion. Um, and he was freaking out. Bastion was like he was super on edge about her being here. Now I have been on fairly positive terms with the Sylvari thus far. So I've already dealt with Caradwin. I've been to the Seaside Village where I am now, and things have been very positive. So when I saw Oriana, I wasn't like I wasn't alarmed. I was just kind of ready and assessing the situation. But Bastion already understood what she was explaining. Maybe he had a different perspective on it, but he knew having an outsider here, especially someone who wasn't like a confirmed, definite, trusted ally, is super dangerous. Super dangerous. Like, and he was freaking out. Um, and like even when he was in that muted state, like he was like wide eyed, and he was messed up. So um like she was able to or she I think she stopped what she was doing and we reformed, and when that happened, like we rejoined, he was way better. So um I think she said that she would meet me on the outside, and that's where I bid Bash to farewell. So I left. I wake up on a grass bed, and when I meet Oriana, she's older in reality. So I guess like she's closer to that 120 age. Um, I sends out for Sir Laura and Oriana. Um, I find out that Oriana is the person who altered the drink. That I don't. I have his name for my. for my last session notes, but I don't want to like extend this too much. But the guard who I was drinking with before I laid down in my last session, he was like she's the person who did something to that drink. Um and Eventually Oriana and I, we head out into the village and we start talking about Carradwin. Um um Basically I find out that Carradwin is her granddaughter, and I think she's like the and I think that Carradwin is not here, and I think that's actually all we really go into. Um, I think I learned that Oriana is kind of like the overall like matriarch maybe of the seaside village. Um, um, Oriana's favorite color is blue instead of green. We walk, and then she takes me over and introduces me to her class. Her class includes 6 kids, and they're like kids, like Balfour or Balfi, who's a young male. He's like 5 or 6 years old. Hold up a second, son. I'm recording the video. Try to keep it down a little bit. Give Dad a few minutes. Thank you. Um, so Balfi, young male, about 5, 6 years old. He's got wild and green, golden hair. His hair has like a Saiyanish, spiky look to it. He's got spiked bracers, green pants. He's not chubby, but he's like soft and kiddish. He's like 5'6". Gael, or is that Gael? No, I think it's Gael. Young male. He's like 5 to 7. He's tall, slender. He has like kind of like a Legion build, but for a kid. Um, Silver hair with sands like spikes. Blue green. He's a blue green Silvari. Um, uh, I'm not sure how to pronounce this one. Erie. Maybe I missed. Maybe I typed it down wrong. Young male, very pale, deathly pale, short, sickly, wilted leaves on him, and he's scrawny. That's an interesting design. Echo, young girl, sunflower hair. Her hair goes back. She's got a cloth sundress with flowers with flower trims, vibrant green skin. She's got a sing-songy voice, and she's got bracelets on her right arm. Val, who was in the movie, she's young. Here I have her as red hair, but your description of her in the movie was different, so I'm wondering if I flipped her with another character. Because actually, when I met her, I thought she reminded me of Kyrie. But anyway, but young girl, red hair, she's got the icy discipline of a legion. So that was definitely consistent with how Val was in the movie. Just her look seemed different. She's been formally trained and she's wearing armor. Then there's Kyrie. Kyrie is the girl who I met maybe 2 sessions ago. And she was with me when I was speaking with one of the other ladies, when I was like kind of first getting into the village and meeting people. I have those notes, but they're not on this page. Um, like a young girl, rich green. She's a rich green color. She's got a bit of a non supernatural glow to her. So I guess the kind of glow that you could conceivably see in a person. Sometimes celebrities have that, but it's not like wait, where's that light coming from? Um, Pale silver green, shoulder length hair, semi iridescent. Yes, iridescent green glow to her eyes, bracelets on her left arm. So these are the 6 kids. Now, all of them are kids. I don't have ages on some of them, but all of them are kids. If I'm not mistaken, I believe all of them were under 13 looking. I mean, they're all thousands of years old, but you know what I'm saying. Um, so I address the class and I explain what my intentions are to them. I explain to them why I'm here, and I say that I want to learn about my place in the universe. Um, like Kyrie says that she wants to be a good leader, Val wants to be a better fighter, and Echo wants to make friends. Um, I tell the class about the primals. Oriana, she compared, and when I did, so Oriana kind of, if I'm remembering correctly, she gave an indicator that they already know, because I know this is sensitive information, but this is not information that like only the Empire knows or anything like that. Bunch of people are aware of the primals and all this kind of stuff like that. Hell, I got yanked across time and space to get my debrief on the primals. So from the Akari. So it's like this information. It's not widespread to the public, but it's definitely not just things that I know. So as I understand that other people are familiar with it, I kind of react off of that and go accordingly. Because at the same time, I know even though this information is sensitive, we need to build alliances to stand a chance against them. So I'm definitely not trying to keep this tight lip that stays tight until the primals come here and wipe us all out. Um, Oriana, interestingly enough, compared the Empire to the primals. Um, um, Basically, and it's interesting. So it's like she was drawing these comparisons between how the Empire and how the Legion are, and the new, I think the new gods as well, how how they're similar to how the primals are. And um but it's like she was almost doing it academically, more academically than she was being accusatory, which I found interesting, because as she was saying it, it was making me wonder, like, is this starting to turn? Like, am I about to be arrested? Like that was how her words were coming off, but not like her body language or even the inflections behind them. It wasn't like her eyebrows closed and she narrowed her eyes and said, "What do you know of it, Legion? You're just as bad as they are." It wasn't anything like that, but she was definitely, hit me with some information. It was like, yikes. Um, um, the Let me see. A specter. So Oriana is able to take a root and turn it into like this type of specter, and the specter is human looking, and it's wearing bracers, and he says the blue flame demon is here to kill us all. Um, his name is Willem, and I personally pacified his village. Like I guess it's like one of those villages we were moving through, and ended up being in conflict with the Empire, and like I ended up pacifying his village. So he's literally one of the people, like that response was from me personally. Um, so she explains. So she breaks down what she believes the difference is between the Black Sky, the Primals, and the Legion. The Black Sky understand that energy exists in cycles. What the Legion would view as a casualty is not so easily cast aside. The Black Sky liberates the physical form. And I remember I was saying that, I was like, man, you almost sound, like you're in awe of them, make them almost sound like gods. And she was like, definitely not anything like that. But it was just like an important distinction, a little lyrical, a little poetic. Um, but it seems um, it seems like it's talking about how the primals have a different view on life. Excuse me, and it has a cyclical nature to it, where it seems like what she was saying, like it's not only a cyclical nature to it, but like the physical form can be like evolved and then go through cycles of evolution, maybe it's better to say. um and the Legion, um we don't necessarily view, I think it's kind of more like we view our bodies and stuff more as tools. um and she asks Kyrie what's the meaning of life, and Kyrie says life is the meaning of life. I like that answer. um like She goes on to tell the story of the 12 great kings. Erie, Gale, and Echo know the story. Most people view the gods as simply greater than them. The Arcadians and other races, the Silvari and the Akari, have different interpretations of what gods are. The Zelrain are what the eternal kings are called. The eternal king Raziel created the primals. She identifies with the eternal king's logic. Um, I think that's the if I'm not mistaken, Raziel is the wolf guy who bodied me in the in the movie. So Oriana goes on to question the Edict of Unity. Um, like just like the kind of like the, I guess the necessity of it. Um, which is interesting because I find that the Edict of Unity um is the thing I feel like keeping the world from being overrun by technology and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really like the way the Silvari are. Maybe it's a stereotype. You kind of almost expect them to be more like, we just want that like nature around and stuff like that. I don't know how they feel about advanced technology. Like if we started hey, we're gonna put some infrastructure. We're gonna put a pipe here. I don't know how they would feel about that. But yeah, she questioned the Edict of Unity, which is the thing that makes it so that like advanced weaponry like just doesn't work here, or not just weaponry, advanced tech. I think advanced technology past a certain point as well, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely weaponry and possibly technology. She mentioned that the spirits of the Silvari return to the Great Tree when they die. Um, like the Edict of Unity has after effects that are affecting people now. Kind of vague, not sure exactly what that means. Um, um, so Willem's daughter Jane and his wife Sylvia, he wants me to look in on them and tell them that he loves them. I shake hands with him and he fades away. Um, Oriana tells Kyrie to go through physical training with me. Kyrie was able to see me as an old man. Don't know what that means. Kyrie said that the Silvari were doing astral dreaming during the thousand-year sleep. This would amount to 800 million years or so, which is great. That's a crazy amount of time. But I mean, time does move weird in the spiritual realm, but that's just crazy. So the last place I left off is Kyrie and Callum exit the seaside village to begin physical training. And that is my last place, DM. Looking forward to the session.